We are going right now to Sharif Abdel Kouddous, our senior producer, Democracy Now! Senior producer on the ground. He was supposed to be in the studio in Cairo. That studio has been shut down. Sharif, describe the whole scene in Tahrir Square right now.
Amy, I'm talking to you. I'm standing on a rooftop near the 6th of October bridge, just a few hundred yards from where the studio is. It's impossible to get across. I'm standing basically on the front lines of the battle between the pro-democracy uprising and the Mubarak regime. There's a lot of rock throwing that is happening back and forth. There are army tanks that are stationed on the bridge, and there's the crackle of gunfire, intermittently unclear who is firing. The people in Tahrir that I met throughout the day today were very proud of the fact that they held the square, that they, despite this brutal assault that they came under, that they managed to hold Tahrir. You know, Tahrir means liberation, and what the people say now is that they're going to stay in Liberation Square until liberation. And I'm speaking to you right now. The pro-democracy forces seem to have pushed back and keep on pushing back the Mubarak thugs. We were here earlier, and the border was further near Tahrir, and now they seem to be pushing back the Mubarak forces. Right now, it's unclear what is going to happen in the evening. Tomorrow, Friday, is going to be a decisive day. Of course, Friday is a day for Muslim prayer, and they expect hundreds of thousands to come to Tahrir, and they want the ouster of the Mubarak regime, and they demand nothing less. We were walking around Tahrir yesterday. They held the square. They suffered terribly. There are people, many hundreds wounded. I've seen broken legs and arms. I've seen many people bandaged. They've shown me bullets that were fired. There's a man right now trying to give me bread. We went to a makeshift hospital where people the doctors have been up for more than 48 hours tending to the wounded. The numbers of the dead vary, but there's somewhere between 5 and 10 people they say were shot in the head, people hit by rocks who died. They said they weren't allowed to leave the square yesterday and that they were trapped inside. Another thing is that the army people are very angry at the army because they say they were complicit in all of this. You know, in my earlier reports, I said that the Egyptian army, people were convinced that the army wouldn't harm them. What they didn't imagine was that they would just stand by and allow these pro-Mubarak thugs to come in hordes on horseback and camel to attack them with rocks and Molotov cocktails until they siege to Tahrir to try and make them leave. But the people here are defiant, and they refuse to leave. And there's more coming into Tahrir as I speak. But right now, I'm on the very edge of it, and the battle continues to rage. I can see more Mubarak forces continuing to gather at the foot of one of the bridges. It's unclear what will happen next. There are rocks absolutely everywhere on the ground, rocks that were thrown from both sides, mostly from the Baltagaya, from the thugs. The people in Tahrir point to the square that they were so proud of, that they had cleaned up the garbage and tended to it so well, and now there is trash. There are rocks everywhere because they had to defend themselves. They say they are forced to throw back, that they don't want to, but they were forced to throw back to defend themselves, and they appear to be holding their ground.
Sharif, you mentioned the role of the military. We did get some reports that when the pro-Mubarak forces started shooting machine guns, that the army did intervene and try to confiscate those. Are you getting any sense that there's an increase in the military presence, or or does this represent basically conflicting orders that are coming into the military about what to do in this situation?
Well, they certainly did let in the pro-Mubarak thugs to come in on horseback and camels, which people are very shocked at. They say, they say, what are we living in barbarian times? I have heard the same reports that when machine gun fire started, that the army did come in and push back the Mubarak's forces. So it appears that at a certain point they intervened, but people don't understand why they let it come to that point. Many were wounded here, hundreds were wounded, and some were killed, and they want the army to do more to protect Tahrir. Tahrir has become the epicenter in all of Egypt for this struggle for democracy.
Sharif, we're going to break. We're going to come right back. We're speaking to Democracy Now! Senior producer Sharif Abdel Kouddous, who is in Tahrir Square. We also finally got Noha Radwan on the line, who was with Sharif yesterday in the studio, who was beaten badly when she left the studio after her interview with Democracy Now! This is Democracy Now! We're covering the uprising in Egypt live on the ground. Stay with us.